What's going on, guys? Patrick from PatrickLawrenRealty.com, and today we're going to go over what it's like living in Kailua and some of the pros and cons. So make sure you stick around to get all the details. See you on the other side. All right, guys, thanks again for joining. So like I mentioned before, we're going to go over the pros and cons and what it's like living in Kailua. Before we jump in, if you guys could do me a huge favor, smash that like button as well as click the notification bell so you guys get notified whenever I drop new videos. Also, while you're at it, why don't you check out some of my social media accounts, which you can see in the links down below. So anyways, let's jump right into it. So a brief history on Kailua. It was a nice, sleepy town in the 1940s and has progressively grown now to be one of the hottest tourist spots in all of Oahu. Some people have come to Kailua to enjoy some of the beauty, like the breathtaking beaches such as Lanikai, Kailua, paddling out to the Mokes to enjoy an amazing exploration, or as well as enjoying some of the many hikes. Anyways, that's a little bit brief history on Kailua. Let's go into the pros and cons of living in Kailua. Okay, pro number one, the amazing beaches. So like I mentioned before, Kailua does offer some of the most beautiful beaches, and I believe just a few years ago, Lanikai, which is one of the beaches, was ranked one of the highest and most beautiful beaches in the world. It has these picturesque views of crystal clear waters, as well as the Mokaluas out front, as well as the sand feels like baby powder. It's one of these things you really need to experience in person, so make sure you check out Lanikai. Now, just on the other side, we also do have Kailua Beach, which is a few mile stretch, a lot longer and bigger than Lanikai, but offers amazing beauty as well as tons of outdoor activities. So that leads me into pro number two, plenty of outdoor activities. Kailua offers a slew of options for you if you're looking to embrace any outdoor living. For example, there's plenty of hikes like the Pillbox hike, Monowili, Three Peaks, and plenty of others. Just use, there's a great app out there called All Trails where you can get a whole list that'll show you where to go, where to park, and all of that stuff. So check that out. Also, the water, of course. I always like to see the water as an extension, not a barrier, and in Kailua, it definitely is that. You can go diving, surfing, paddling, and it's actually one of the top windsurfing places in the nation. So we have a lot of windsurfers out there. And then, of course, like I mentioned before, you can go paddle out to the Mokalua Islands, which are absolutely gorgeous. You can, of course, use kayaks that you own, or there's a couple places where you can rent them and just paddle straight out to the islands. Okay, going into pro number three, the small town feel. So like I mentioned before, Kailua used to be a small town, but it definitely is bustling now. The good news is we don't have a bunch of big box stores, which can be a pro or a con depending on the type of person you are. But me personally, I like the local feel. And in Kailua, we have a lot of local stores and just a local vibe that keeps it nice and quaint. Along with that, we also have a pretty good walkability score. You can basically go to, get some ice cream, go to Whole Foods, you can go to a microbrew, all within a few blocks, which is absolutely amazing. And then also just head to the beach if you want to enjoy some poke on the white sands of Kailua. Okay, guys, that's a lot of beautiful things about Kailua. Now let's look about the ugly or the con. So let's jump into it. Number one, tourist traffic. Now, like I mentioned before, Kailua used to be a sleepy town, but definitely has grown a lot, and you can see that as soon as you enter because you most likely will be welcomed by traffic. Now, the traffic can be, of course, from the local community, but a lot of it is being generated from the tourism. Because it is such a beautiful place, we have lots of tourists coming either from town or wherever they are, and they're seeing Kailua as one of their stops, and they want to see that beautiful beach that we talked about so much, so we are seeing a lot of traffic, so just be aware of that. Con number two, no big box stores. So like I mentioned before, we do have that local vibe. We don't really have any big box stores. So if you're looking to go to Costco or Walmart, we don't have it. You're gonna have to go back to town for that. We do have a Target, which they put in a couple years ago, which has been very convenient, but that's pretty much the only big box store that we have. But there's a good reason for that. We don't really want the big box stores coming in. We wanna keep that local vibe that we've been trying to hold on to for so long. Con number three, home prices. Now, just recently in Oahu, single-family homes have gone up almost 27%, and the hottest part of the island is Kailua, where we're seeing homes going 50, 100, and even 150 grand over asking. So keep in mind that if you are looking to buy into Kailua, it is not cheap, but for good reason. You're always buying for a location, and we've already discussed how perfect the location is and how much people want to live there. So you got to pay to play. Con number four, quality of home. Now, yes, a lot of the homes are $1 million plus, but it will surprise you. If you're moving somewhere from the mainland and you come here, you might be paying $1 million for basically a sugar shack. We'll go a little bit into the construction. Usually they're single walled, jealousy windows, probably don't have AC, and probably going to need some love, a little hug, and a little bit of work. So just keep in mind that you're usually not getting the most bang for your buck, but what you're paying for is that location and convenience to be in one of the most beautiful places in the world. Okay guys, now we're going to go a little bit more in depth about the home construction, size, prices, and stuff like that, what you can expect in Kailua. So in Kailua, like I mentioned before, a lot of them are more original plantation homes. Kailua was originally started basically in the 1940s, 1950s, and 1960s. So that's when we're going to see a lot of the homes originally built. Those homes are going to have single wall construction. That's going to be tongue and groove. So some noise will come and go, and it doesn't really hold in the heat, or it doesn't really allow it to release heat or hold in the cold air. So keep that in mind. You can always add double wall if you'd like in the future. Another thing you're gonna wanna be aware of is we have a lot of jealousy windows, and jealousy windows are great for bringing in fresh breeze, but sometimes make it a little bit more difficult once again to hold in that cold air if you do have an AC unit. And once again, a lot of the homes will usually have window AC units, or if they've been upgraded, sometimes they have split AC units. You very rarely find central AC unless it's a completely new constructed home. And lastly, most of the foundations are not on slab, they're on what we call post and pillar. So they're basically stuck up on posts and pillars, and the house is lifted up. The nice thing about this is if you do have any foundational issues, you literally can jack the house up like a car and just put shims or make adjustments. Of course, you're always going to want to replace it completely for a great fix. And another benefit to that is it's very easy to get to the electrical and plumbing. So these are just kinds of the styles and home constructions that you can expect in Kailua. Okay, so we looked into the type of home constructions. What would you be expecting to pay for a house like this? Well, in Kailua, you can basically find a single family home anywhere between $800 and $24 million. Yes, $24 million was one of the recent sales that we just had. So there is a wide range, but on average, a single family home in Kailua is about 1.4 to 1.5. If you're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, probably about 5,000 to 10,000 square foot lot. That's what you can expect to pay. Now, if you are looking to purchase a condo, which we don't have too many condo units, but if you are able and lucky enough to find one, you can expect to pay anywhere between $450 upwards to $1.5 million for a condo out here in Kailua. But on average, or the median sales price for a condo in Kailua is $723,000. Okay guys, well that pretty much wraps it up. Again, I'm Patrick with PatrickLawrenRealty.com. If you guys could just do me one huge favor, if you got any value from this video, if you could smash that like button as well as click the bell so you can get notified whenever I drop new videos. Also, check out some of my social media accounts and feel free to give me a follow or DM me. If you guys are looking for any help when it comes to moving to Hawaii, buying, renting, or whatever it is, feel free to reach out to me. You got some boots on the ground. I've got my contact information down below, or you can book a quick call with me where we can talk story. Again, I'm Patrick with PatrickLawrenRealty.com, powered by eXp Realty. You guys have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.